Welcome to Tropes and Traumas, where books hurt us.
And we love it anyways. Welcome back, you guys. I am so
Welcome
excited.
back.
Yeah. Because we are going to be talking about the book Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. And you guys, look at how pretty she is.
He's
We had to book it on our
gorgeous.
own.
Yes.
And I am
Ah,
so excited. This book was so good. It was better than the first. Look at her.
the inner pages. The inner pages, okay?
Stunning. She's
That cover, though. That
oh
cover, though.
yeah.
Okay.
Read it, read it, read it. Read the cover.
Oh, okay. Be wary. Be clever. Be good.
And if you've read it, you would get what that means.
Right. I mean, you have to have read it, because unless you want the spoilers. I mean, spoiler alert. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and just start.
I wasn't ready for none of the drama that was going on in this book. I was not ready.
I was
Like
not
like
expecting the tea, you guys.
tea. I wouldn't even call it tea. This was a cauldron of mess. This was a cauldron of boiling over, just hot mess. Hoth, Hoth. Okay.
I had to stop reading the book at that point. I legitimately put the book down and I said, I need a break.
You know, when you texted me when you had gotten up to that part, I was just like, I understand why you had to stop, but also I could not stop because I needed justice, and I knew the author could not, because Hoth? What the actual fuck? Okay? Trigger warnings galore in this book. Let me just say that. All right? Trigger warnings. If you're sensitive, don't read it. That's all I got to say. I wasn't ready.
And with that being said, let's hop on into this.
Yes.
So, first things first, Elspeth is gone.
Like gone.
Like gone. Like she's in some part in the mind and she's on a beach. I mean, good for her, sunbathing. But not ideal.
She's in the hidden part of, like, that tucked away back part of the brain. So she's not even able to see what's going on through her own eyes at this point.
But the King did say that he created that spot as a safe haven. So this way she's not reliving memories or anything, and she's in a place where she can safely be tucked away without experiencing any harm or going through any memories that she doesn't have to, or having to go through her whole life in her head. So I
Well, she
mean,
is going through the king's
she
memories while she's
chooses.
back there.
Well, she chooses to. She like in the beginning she gets little glimpses, but then she's like, "Oh, fuck this. I need to get out of here. I need to go swimming in all his memories." And that's when she like
Mhm.
dives, like she dives in, you know what I mean? She's
Lord.
I was like, "That's a choice."
I
But
mean, I would want to know. This guy's been in my head for how many years?
yeah,
I want information. Who are you? You
I don't
literally took over my body.
I don't blame her because the tea that she got, I mean, you guys,
It was so important. Such
it
important
was
information.
so important. I mean, his family, the way that she was able to essentially see how the card just took over his whole life. And like every time he would barter for a card, he lost a piece of himself to the point where he was almost like a ghost to his family because he was hardly ever there. And when he was there, he
Right.
was not mentally there. He was gone. First thing is Raven is planning to go away with King, who's in Elspeth's body, to go and get the twin altars. But they have to leave Elm home. What they do is to protect Elspeth's family is they kind of use the mind to get them all out of there, and they all leave except for Ione. So Elm finds her in the house, and immediately she's cold, she's gone, she's under the mating card, and then they get almost killed. Yeah, the people in the woods, and then she takes his card, she uses it against his will, she kills everyone, and then she's like, "You owe me."
Sis, I have no thoughts because I don't remember it. I'm so sorry.
That's
Like, I
crazy
literally
because that was like one of my top scenes. I was like,
really?
Yeah, because I thought they were, I don't know, I felt like there was like a little bit of flirting going on. I was like, are they about to get romantic? And then she steals his card and she literally kills all these people. And he's looking at her like she's supposed to be like the sweet Ione. She's supposed to be a delicate princess. And she murdered all of these people without any regret. Like she was like, yeah, I murdered the man. I'll murder you next unless you pay me back. And he's like,
That's
how am I going
right.
to pay you back? And she's like, you need to keep me alive. Your father's going to try to kill me. You need to keep me alive. So then they go ahead and they get down to the king's throne room. And because Hoth is gone, he has Elm sit next to him. He has father of Elspeth, the uncle of Elspeth, and Ione. And he's like, he's going to put them to death, all these things. So he uses the scythe card to force the father to lie under the chalice by stating that if he went ahead and he killed Ione, it would cause gossip. So he has to keep Ione alive in order to avoid the fact that he had a family who had the fever about to marry his son. Because the tea
Right.
that would have done.
Right. The
Mm-hmm.
damage.
Mm-hmm. So Elms freezes the whole castle. Her hands were sliced open in the process. And then everyone gets taken away. And then he goes to find Ione and her hands are healed. And he finds out that that's what the maiden card does, is it heals people. And he
Crazy.
was screaming for her. You guys, this is how I knew this man liked her. Because why is it that I know he's trying to save her because that was what he owed her, but the way that he ran across it, started screaming Ione, froze everyone, and ran to her. He wasn't trying to stop the fight. He was not trying to fix anything. He was sitting there like, I gotta save this girl. You mean your girl? Mm.
Mm.
And then later we get to that scene in the cellar when they're about to do the deed and he's telling her all her secrets. And by the way, guys, then we learn all the shit that Hoth did to her. I mean, finally, but oh my goodness, he murdered her.
Literally murdered Ione, guys.
He threw her out the window at the Spindle house, at her own uncle's house. He threw her out
And
the
didn't
window.
care. There was no, literally zero fucks given. He was heartless. Like you would think he was using the maiden card at the time. Like heartless.
And you know what? Him being that heartless without the maiden card, imagine him with the maiden card, how heartless he would be even that way. He's already a ruthless person. And then we find out because guess what? He comes back to life. This fucker comes back to life. Do you know how mad I was?
Right.
Bec-
When all of a sudden he just appears and he's like, hey, what's up?
right
What do
as
you mean? And this was right after Elm had finally come up with an idea with the marriage contracts and everything. Because he was like, well, the contract doesn't say anything about specifically who Ione is marrying,
just the heir. And now
just the fact
that
that it's an heir. And now that Hoth
Hoth
is,
is gone, he's
incapacitated, right. Now Elm is the next in line. Therefore, he's the heir. And although it's still kind of schemy, um,
he
Elm's
still
like, well,
wins.
now I get my woman. Now she's mine. Like I can make her mine.
And he's the only one she cared for because literally all these women show up to the castle and he literally could have had a woman on that table, which I did not like that scene because I was like, why are you acting like a fuckboy right now? But then he's like, I'm not interested in you. I have my eyes on someone else. And then you guys look, we looked down at his sketchbook and it's Ione.
Mm,
Like, I mean, I knew, but to have the confirmation, to
right.
have him scheming to marry her, and then after everything, he's like, we're gonna get you back your emotions. He was like, and I'm gonna be here for you. And then literally, she gets back her emotions. She's crying, screaming, and he's sitting there the whole time. He's like, I get it. You literally were murdered. By the way, you guys, I was terrified that after she removed that maiden card, that she was gonna die. Like the magic would be removed and then the death would become final. I don't know why no one else thought that, but I did.
Just the description of her laying there and thinking she was dying. Like I can't get over that scene. And there's no getting over that scene. If there's anything that's memorable about this book, it was that for sure. Very stick out part of the book. Because I'm just like, she thought she was gonna die. She's staring up at the moon, just laying there bleeding out. And then her body is just slowly healing itself.
Ugh, and the pain that she felt, she had to
Just
feel the death. I mean, yes, emotionally she was like out of it, but she would still physically feel the pain of her dying and then the pain of her healing.
and then seeing that from outside looking in, like Elm really knew his brother because he himself had been getting tortured by him his entire life. And the fact that like they're literally trauma bonding from the same person,
Insane.
which is just wild.
And then to have all that taken away the moment Hoth comes back.
And then
Oh,
forces Ione to start using the maiden card again.
and he kills her. So she gets another
He
death.
stabs her. Yeah.
And then Elm watches her die and then come back to life. And the dread, the fear, you guys, I was sobbing.
Because it took forever for her to come back.
He was just you know what, honestly the scene reminded me of? It reminded me of Throne of Glass when Dorian had to watch his girlfriend be beheaded.
Right. Because
The
what even?
the sobbing I heard
Like
in my head, the
the
screams.
fatal blow. Like there's no, you would think that there's like
Even if he knew that she might come back,
just
the fear.
seeing the trauma, the
How could he?
devastation.
Years on, I could imagine him waking up and seeing, still with dreams of seeing her body like that. But all of this trauma that Hoth did made it so much easier. Oh, by the way, you guys, oh my god, before I even get there, Hoth kills his father too?
Duh. Dude, I
And then his father's like, here, he gives the scythe card to Elm, and Elm has to freeze everyone in the castle. And I'm like, yes, we're gonna win. He's gonna freeze everyone in the castle. He's gonna let Ione go and then stay at the castle. And then he's going to just kill Hoth, honestly. And then he can become king because who's gonna stop him?
right.
But instead, he does not do that. And I was so mad. What are you doing, Elm? Why are you running away with Ione, hurting yourself with the side card instead of he was playing harder, not smarter, and it was because he was so frightened because, they killed Ione in front of him.
He just wanted her to get away. Cause no, I'm sorry. I mean, you have to understand. He's technically watched her die twice. Once through a memory and once in person after having already like basically expressed his feelings to her and her expressing her feelings to him. Like they know that they're into each other at that point. And to just watch that.
I would have used the scythe card and would have been like, Hoth and Lyndon, I would have said it in my head, like, you're gonna go and commit suicide in front of all these people. And then I would have been like, I don't know.
He went crazy. I don't know what
They went
happened.
crazy. I would have still sent her. I would have been like, you're still leaving, but they need to all be dead. I need to run this court and then you can come back. It's just the power he had in that moment. I understand his emotions overtook him, but it was so frustrating to see, like, you could have won right here.
I know I'm skipping all the way to the end, but then even at the end, Hoth has another moment with Raven.
Oh my god. That man! He's so evil! Wasn't he burning down their house? And gonna
Yes,
kill all the
he had
youths?
all his destriers around, ready to set the house aflame. Like he was just trying to destroy everything, destroy everyone. He just didn't he was using all the power he had to just be just the center of destruction of everything. And then he didn't his whole thing was that he didn't want the Providence cards united because he understands that fear is what runs their kingdom. That's what keeps him in power.
And he's right,
So he's
but
not
he's
wrong.
awful.
He's terrible. I can't, there's not enough bad words to describe him. Like if there was ever a villain of any story, it was him.
And his father for, like, allowing everything that he'd done.
And the
His
thing
father
is
had to
that
have been evil, but the
not
shit.
to that extent, though, is the thing,
I know.
because
At
I
least he
think his
wanted the
dad
cards
actually
united.
did still want the cards united. He did
Hmm.
still want to bring some sort of peace to the kingdom,
Hmm.
which is part of why Hoth wanted him dead, not just so he could, like, he was already in line for the throne. That was never a question. He just didn't like the idea that there might be a chance that his father might reunite the cards before he comes to power.
I
He
was so
wanted to make sure that once he's in power, he's in power. Just insane.
which is why he was so scared of Raven the whole time, because Raven had a power that he would never have. One, he was good with the people. All the Destrios respected him. His father respected him.
Elm was his, like, he basically adopted Elm.
He was a true leader in all the sense, and that threatened Hoth. Because if he could lead everyone and no one would follow Hoth, then he could at one point question the crown.
I think Raven and Hoth were like reflections of each other throughout the book, like the opposites. You know what I'm saying? We totally skipped over the whole path that it took to get to these twin alders, though. Let's
Let's get into
get
that.
into that. Because what a journey.
Because isn't it interesting though that at the same time everyone learns what the card can do? As Elm finds out, Hoth comes back to life and everyone finds out what the maiden card can do. Then we have Raven over here swimming in a river with all the demons coming up to grab them and then
Right.
save someone with the maiden card because the king says so. And at the same time, who's coming out to say hello? Who's coming back because she said, I'm coming back and you're gonna let me? Elspeth, she's back in the king's mind.
She forced her way through it. She had to. She
Because he
had
was.
to. And Raven wasn't going to let that not happen either. He wanted to
Mm-hmm.
speak to her and he wanted to talk to her so bad. He's so in love with Elspeth. Oh my God.
But there's a chance she can come back, and I was just like, I was so happy, man. Oh,
I had a feeling though, because like we said before, I think we talked about that, like the Shepherd King isn't as bad as what they tried to make him out to be. Sure, he was, tinged with a little bit of evil, but that's just because he was betrayed so hard. He has a revenge plot
mm-hmm.
in his mind, and that's all he's been set on since hundreds of years ago. So it's hard for him to not be that way. Also, his soul got captured of all the cards, the nightmare card.
Also, I loved at the end because I said it in the beginning reading it. He seemed like a father figure to her. He loved her. He did care for her. He did.
Right.
Like, and you can tell in the way he spoke with her. I mean, was he always the nicest?
No.
No. But still, I feel like he definitely saw himself as a father figure. And even towards the end, he does admit that to Raven. He's like, she is in a way, I see her as a
Like a
daughter.
daughter.
I've
Mm-hmm.
seen her grow up. I've been with her this whole time. I've guided her through life in a way that her father has never done.
Right.
So even though he didn't always do what was best for her, he always still had her well being in mind. Like, even
Mm-hmm.
when she was fighting and she got her head split open and she's like, I'm gonna die, he's like, You're not. I will make sure you don't die. Like, I won't take care of you to the point you will. Like, I'm not gonna shower and wash myself because I have to seem different than you did because I can't have Raven looking at me like he's looking at you. That's gross for
It's a
her.
100-year-old's man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also what his kin. So that's even weirder.
Yes, and when we get to that point, oh my gosh, the hook nose, the fucking hook
Man, the fact that
nose.
that came was hilarious to me because I could not get over that in the first book for that to actually be a feature of importance. Like the damn nose.
The damn nose. The more that we learned about the Shepherd King, the more we could connect the dots with Raven, right? Because it
Hmm.
was the Shepherd King's son who was not able to use certain cards, and as he grew older, he could no longer use certain cards, just like Raven. And then
Hmm.
being able to see Raven's blood opening up his tomb, which is
Right.
crazy, you guys. By the way, that one dark window was to his tomb, the king's tomb. Insane.
Hmm. And that's how
Then,
he was able to get that sword,
yes,
the
yes.
separate team sword.
Mm-hmm. And then we get to also after, he saves that guy's life, the guy runs back to go tell the king about the maiden card and how it can be used.
Right.
And then there's those people in the woods who have
Yes, I was waiting
Elspeth's
to get there.
family. Oh, you talk about
Hmm.
that, please, because I was low-key lost.
Well, because I had hoped that that was a thing when we were first talking about the first book.
Yeah.
I was like, there has to be, like, I would hope that there was a community of infected people that would take advantage of the fact that they can handle being in the mist at this point.
Yeah.
They have their own community and they're like, you know what? We don't need to be in the kingdom. We're not allowed there. It's treason. And they found a way to build a community. Now, it did get very gladiator-esque up in there. They were very upset, but it's also like that makes sense. They're being treated like lepers, but they're literally just people who got infected. Like it's not their fault. But the fact that they were like, no, somebody's got to die was insane. They're all tied up. It was what, Jesper? I can't remember the other guy's name. Somebody had to die in that situation. And it was just like, why y'all being so evil?
Right.
Like they're literally these people are literally trying to save the world and you're tying them up to poles and telling them to kill each other. The lady had made a potion where they were all overcome with rage and so they were all just saying really mean stuff to each other. But the journey through the woods was just insane because like you said there was the whole lake situation, having to swim through that with all the things coming out of the water and then trying to get to the twin alders themselves,
Mm.
like the actual trees. That was
Having
creepy.
having to give up Jesper to the
Right, because she went
woods.
mad because she got attacked by the mist.
My heart. Well, she was attacked by the mist the first time. Raven lied so she wouldn't have to do it, and she was like, I will do whatever I can to save Emery. And she takes off her charm, and then she starts running through the woods, and then they're having to run after her for like hours. My stamina could
Girl
never.
is giggling and just losing her mind, and they're just trying not to lose her in the woods. As much as I wish I could be in stories like this, is not the story I'd ever wish to be in. This one, not it. Nope. Throne of Glass, I feel like I could be part of the army. Throw me in. Put me in, coach. This, I'm good. I'm good. I'm not jumping into those pages. I'm fine where I'm at.
I agree. My ass would get the fever.
I'd be infected so bad. And then on top of that, I probably would start I would get myself killed. Not on
Same.
purpose, but like just the shenanigans.
Oh my god, can we talk about the beauty of the trees? How all of them are named after trees? Taxus is the tree, and the other name for that is yew. So Raven's real name was Taxus, but it means the same thing as a yew tree. And
Mm-hmm.
then Spindle's a tree, Elm is a tree, Rowan is a tree, and how he
Mm-hmm.
talks about the importance of like the Rowan tree being gone, being dead, as in the kings of Rowan, and that Elm is new in a sense because his name was Elm as an elm tree. You guys, I was in love. That concept was beautiful. Rachel, I don't know how you came up with this concept, but I'm eating every word.
Chef's kiss.
And then him using the magic of the trees to attack Rowan.
Bruh, that was awesome.
So
I
freaking
want that as
cool.
a movie. I need that scene
Right?
visualized. I need it. Because that sounded awesome.
It
It
was
was
so
giving
cool.
Lord of the Rings. I
Oh
don't know
my
if you
goodness.
have you seen Lord of the Rings? Oh, crazy. But there is a scene where the trees come alive and they start beating some booty, and it's a very pivotal part in destroying the evil people. And so the fact that these trees came alive too, like not to the extent that they did in Lord of the Rings, but they were alive enough where they were slapping people with branches and whatnot. Like, yeah, I'm into
Mm-hmm.
it. Okay? Chop chop.
And then the ending when they used the maiden card. And I kind of did talk about this last time, but I thought when they had to complete the deck, it was like they had to get all the cards, like every single card out there, put them together, and then the cards would disappear. But the rest of the cards were still out there being used by people.
So the magic was still out there.
And the whole time, you guys, the whole time, how to get rid of the Shepherd King, all he had to do was tear the card.
Dude, he was lying his butt off the whole time, saying the cards are indestructible. I don't understand how nobody tried ripping a card.
I want to say the only person who could rip the card was Raven because it doesn't make sense when people are fighting over, they would pull it and rip it. All I know is this book was good. They got Jesper back. Emery came back to life. By the way, the whole time all they had to do was use the maiden card on Emery and he would have came back.
Right.
Wild, which again makes you hate Taxes because we could have saved him days ago. But I mean, if he would have, they wouldn't have went looking for the cards.
I still thought it was a pretty wild situation that if Elspeth had touched any other cards. One of the cards, I can't remember which one it was, and they made a little comment about it that she would have gotten the Shepherd King's hair
Hair.
if she had touched the card. And they're like, well, what was your hair actually like? Like, would it
Long.
have been a bad thing? He's like, well, no, I had long hair. I'm like, so then what's the problem?
Well, I'm thinking it probably meant everywhere. Like,
She would just turn
like
into the
all
thing.
hair. Could you imagine her, the girl with all this
Just a
man hair
strap.
all over her? Like chest
I'm
hair and
thinking,
shit?
no, I'm thinking like the thing from the Addams family.
Yeah!
Isn't that what he's called? That he's just the
Thing.
brown shag of hair. Oh my
I'm thinking all the hair. Like it's not just the hair on your head, it's like your eyebrows, your eyelashes, your arm hair, your leg hair, your groin hair.
god. Ooh,
That's what I thought. I was like, ew, you
that's
don't want his
not.
hair.
We had two very different hairy situations in mind. That's hilarious. Oh,
But what do
man.
you rate this book from 1 to 10?
So we're rating it just as a singular book, not a series.
However you want.
Okay.
Or you could do both. Why don't you do a singular book and then do it as a series?
So the first book, I gave it a 7.5, I think is what I said.
Hmm.
This one, it was so heart-wrenching. God, give it like a 9.5. I don't know why I'm not giving it a 10. It's not a 10.
What about as a duology?
I think together it would be a 9.
I would rate it from 1 to 10. I would rate it a 10, maybe even 11,
Damn,
because I
Tree.
thought it was better than the first book. Well, because there was so much drama. Like, I was reading and I was like, oh my God, what next? Oh my God, what next? Like, there was not a boring part in this book. Like, I didn't feel bored at all. Was I angry at some parts? Yes, but that is a good book that you feel all these emotions with. A bad book is when you feel nothing and you're like, God, is this over yet? This book, I wasn't feeling that way. I thought everything came together very perfectly. If I compared it to something like Throne of Glass, which is one of my all time favorites, compared to like the last book of Throne of Glass, this is a 12 and that's like a 15-20 out of 10. So to me, like, I do think this one was good. As a duology, beginning is slow. I would always have to tell people that, hey, look, it's going to be a hard moment for you to get into it, but once you do, it's really good. So
Hmm.
as a duology, I would rate it a 9. I do agree with that.
I think the reason I think I'm not giving it a full 10 is because I didn't cry. I think I just was upset and just kept wanting to read, which is why it was still good, but I
You didn't
didn't.
cry during the time when Elspeth was like gonna die? I cried. Because it was like Raven was trying to come to her and he couldn't get her on time. I thought she was dead.
The feeling I had throughout the whole thing was like, no, I'm gonna get justice. I'm not gonna waste my time with these tears. I need to know what's happening next. All these bad people are gonna get their ass handed to them, and whether they like it or not, and I need to keep going. That was like the attitude I had going on through reading this book. I didn't have time for the sadness. I was like, nah, y'all need your asses handed to you. I needed Hoth gone. I was not wasting my emotions on the shenanigans he was pulling.
Cried? He killed Ione.
I will tell you, my heart dropped, but there were no tears. Y'all need to read this though.
It's
I'm gonna
good.
tell you that. No, read them and get these editions of the book because they're gorgeous. Okay,
Stunning.
beautiful.
But you guys, go ahead and let us know down in the comments what would you rate it from 1 to 10 as a singular book and then as a duology. Would you guys recommend this to your friends? Did you like it? Did you cry? Let us know down in the
All right,
comments. And we'll see you guys next time.
all right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.